All right, welcome everybody. We back with another episode of the Squid Games Aftermath podcast. I am your humble host, DeAndre Player 288, and I have a special guest here with me, Persia, or as you might know her from the show, Precious Player 345. How you doing today?
I'm good. Hello, everyone. Thank you for having me.
You got a
I'm
nice
doing
number,
good.
345. I like
I
that number.
know it was a very. I thought it was going to be a very lucky number. It was in sequence. 3, 4, 5. I'm like, well, it's my lucky number. It's probably going to be my lucky season. But hey,
never. Hey. Well, I think you did a great job. I mean, I know we didn't talk too much in there, just very briefly, but
yeah.
I know you came a long ways and got further than most players, so that's excellent. But before we get into all that, can you tell the people a little bit about yourself? So on your bio, I'll just go through real quick. You're from Texas, and you served in the Army for 9 years.
Yes.
And you said you hope to get in bottom bunk and would use the winnings to invest in your businesses. What are these businesses?
I am the owner of Inner Vixen LLC. I create my own perfume. Bottle it, mix it, bottle it, package it, ship it. And then I also run my daughter, who's now 6, her lip gloss business, which is Jules Collection. She has lip gloss, sells 26 different colors. And we also have Mommy and Me clothing. So, yeah.
Wow. That's pretty cool. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm pretty lit. I like that. So what made you want to apply for Squid Games, the challenge?
Just wanting to do something like reality TV and, wanting the opportunity to win the $4.56 million. So that's really what money talks. Money talks.
Yeah, you're right. 100%. I mean, we all in to get the bag. And that's the main goal. We ain't worried about none of the extra stuff. We just here focused on the bag. All that extra stuff, y'all can have that. I just want this. And that was my mindset kind of going into it.
Right.
So did you watch Squid Games before you applied for the show?
I did. I watched the whole thing before I applied for the show. So in seeing the casting and the posting, it was like, are they gonna kill us? Like, no, it was just like, let me just make sure I read the fine print. But because of that, but I didn't, like watching the whole show, the actual show, none of us thought that once we got there, made it past, red light, green light, that everything was gonna be like exactly like we were in the actual original. So it was crazy.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I was expecting it to be similar, but I was like, oh, it's gonna be like a cheap down version of it. Like it's not gonna be the same thing. Yeah. But it was the same thing.
Yeah, same thing. I mean, I didn't expect red light, green light to be like that either, So
yeah,
so
100%.
Like, oh my God, this is crazy.
Yeah,
I really signed up for this craziness. But it was fun. It was an amazing experience.
That's excellent. So speaking of red light, green light, we'll jump right into it. When you walk up into the room and you see everything, what's kind of going through your head in that moment?
Wow, what the hell? Excuse my language, but like, wow.
It's freedom of speech out here.
What the hell is going on? Like, is this real? Mind you, it was cold. So it was just like, is this happening like right now? Like just walking in there was just like, they really did this. Like y'all really made this look just, it was a complete duplication, So it's just like, wow, looking around like, wow, I'm really here. I'm really doing this. That was my first thought.
Yeah, no, definitely. It was crazy. So as we went in there and they had us do, we were there waiting forever. Yeah, it was a very long time explaining the rules, all that. But we get to hear the practice version. We get to do a practice round and then hear the song once. What was your strategy? Once you heard that and you did it, what's kind of your strategy going into it?
I mean, initially my strategy was that I was going to, run as far as I can and try to stop right before I could see the doll's head coming around. Like I wanted to pay attention to the doll But once everything started, it was like, baby, don't look at that doll. Look at where you're going. Look and make sure people are not in your way. And then I saw other people like with their hands in their pockets, and it was easier for them to like just stop without like extra movement. So, I tried to do that. I see people falling purposely and laying on the ground. I tried to do that. And after that first time, I was like, oh no, you're not don't do that. Don't do that shit again. But I did it again like a crazy person. So
you couldn't really control kind of where you were stopping sometimes. Like you only had 4 seconds ish to run.
Absolutely.
And that you had to just stop wherever you were because you didn't want to stop late and move your hand 1 second and then you're out. So you were just like, oh, yeah, how'd I get here?
Absolutely. No. And I'm like, y'all see 5 minutes, but yeah, we didn't see 5 minutes. 5 minutes was a mini warm up for us, so it was crazy.
Yeah, it got a little too real in there for me.
It got too real.
Oh God, this is not happening right now. You had a lot of time to just sit in your spot and just think about, like, I was thinking about TV shows. I was thinking about my texting. I was thinking about the most random thing because we had 25 minutes just in the spot. So
I was thinking about if my mom was here, I wonder what would she be doing right now? We'd probably be out because she'd be laughing at everything, So I was just thinking about everything possible. Like, okay, when is it going to start up again so I can get there and make it? Oh my goodness, it was crazy.
Insane. So you're getting through, rounds are passing, people dropping, and you're getting a little closer to the end. When you get almost to that last one, kind of what's your thought process when you're almost to that line?
Well, the only thing that I wish that was included when it came out, I was part of the 5-second crew that had 5 seconds to cross the line with Miss Leanne, with my Mama Leanne. And right before that, I ran like my hardest because I wanted to dive over the line. So when I ran, I dived and I ended up right in front of the pink line with 5 seconds left. So out of my peripheral, I paid attention to Leanne and TJ. And soon as I seen them step, I just rolled over and laid there. So I wasn't even on my feet the last 5 seconds. Like I just laid there and I just cried. Like I really just did this and I made it. And people were like, you can get up. And I was like, no, don't touch me. I'm not getting up. I'm not getting up. Because the other people that made it past that line, you know what happened to them. I was just like, I'm not moving until they tell me you're good. So it was so surreal. It was crazy. Like that, the last 30 seconds were crazy. Because like I said, I didn't want to get on the ground again because it seemed like once you got on the ground, that took 2 seconds to get up and run, So when I took off running, I ended up falling on the ground. So I just laid there and I was like, I'm just gonna lay here. But after that, I was just like, don't touch me until they tell me you made it. It's good, and once they killed off everybody else that was still there after the time ran out, I was just like, thank God. Like at least my goal was to make it through red light, green light. I didn't come here all the way to London to get out at red light, green light. That was not it, and I was just like, that's what I wanted to make it through. That was the most iconic scene in the actual original, so I was like, I gotta make it through that.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, it's sad. I hate saying this. I respect everyone's name who made it and didn't make it, but it's felt like if you didn't make it past the red light, green light, you really weren't part of the show, even during filming and then watching it, because it's like they only show 15 minutes of it. That's it. Yeah, and it doesn't do it justice for what we experienced. But getting past that definitely was like, okay, at least if I get out the next round or anywhere else, I at least made it past this and I'm good. Yeah. So
absolutely. So, I even wanted to see like them coming out with their little coffins, I don't know if you remember that part. I wanted to see that, so I'm just like, that would have been so cool. It's just a lot left out, but it was fun. It was fun. It was, a little bit of PTSD. Don't ask me to play red light, green light. But but it was fun. It was fun.
It was crazy. So player 345 makes it past the first game. Congratulations. You survived to live another day. And we get ready to go on to inside the dorms. And so when you first step into the dorms, what are you thinking when you see everything and whatnot?
When I first got into the dorms, it was another wow moment. Like, first it was the red light, green light. Now it's, the dorms. Oh, wow. Everything is a replica of the actual movie. So to me, I'm like, are we actually where they filmed the actual Squid Game?
That's what it felt like. It felt like that.
That's exactly what it felt like. It was like, are we actually here where they filmed? Red light, green light, like down to a T, to all the stickers and the figurines on the wall, to the bunks, to the time, and then of course the pig with the money filling up in it. So it was just so surreal. And of course I had my eye on the bottom bunk. So, it was just like, which side of the room did I want the bottom bunk on? That's all I had to figure out.
Why the bottom bunk?
I just didn't want to be up there. I didn't want to be up there. I don't know. A part of me felt like when I went to the military, I was at the top bunk, and I was just like, I didn't have a choice. I had to get that one. I was like, well, I got a choice this time. I don't have to have a top bunk. I'm a bottom bunk. So if I have to get up and get out, go to the restroom, or hurry up and get up, we never knew what to expect. So it was like, I need to be ready. I don't want to be crawling out of the top bunk, trying to come down the stairs. No, let me just go and get out, put my stuff on, and I'm ready to go. So that's why the bottom bunk.
Yeah, and I guess, being former military, the bunks weren't too bad. I mean, too bad for you because you used to it. You've spent this life and it was no big deal. Some people had issues with it, but you were like, hey, this ain't nothing.
Hey, once I'm sleep, I'm sleep. So I didn't I didn't have a problem. That first night though, it was a little hard to sleep. Your adrenaline is still pumping and running, and you don't know what's about to happen. So it was just 100%. Like, people still up talking and laughing and everything. So you just like, I'm gonna try to get a little bit of sleep and close my eyes a little bit, and then something happened, you hear something, you opening your eyes. So it was crazy. It was just crazy experience.
Yeah, no, it was nuts. It's all the people and whatnot in there and just dealing with everything. But I'm a narcoleptic too. I'm a narcoleptic, but so I fall asleep very easy. So all that stuff was not bothering me. But so then we get in the dorms, have all that stuff going on. Some time passed. Did you have anybody that you were getting close with, or who was your kind of like people or person that you confided with a lot?
Yes. Adam. Adam was my person, because he was from Texas, and of course Sydney was from Dallas, and then you had Jess. She was one of my bunk mates, but Rick was by me, Jimmy was by me, Mikey was right next to me, so we talked all the time. Him and Rob, of course, and Brad. It was just like, I wasn't by them all the time, but I always somehow regrouped and talked to them. They were just like, a breath of fresh air. It was always something going on with them. But for the most part, those were like my people you always see me with. It was like Jess, and Adam, and Sid. Like, I was always with them. And then crazily enough, not just made it past where I got out from, but Sid and Adam, we got out the same time. We were on the bus and everything back. So it was crazy. And I mean, we keep in touch now. So
that's excellent. That's excellent.
Yeah.
Something that kind of bonds you for because you spend 4 days with these people, 24 hours a day, and that's more than times you spend with family members in a whole year.
Absolutely.
So it's a little different. There's people like, how you get so close so quick? And I was like, well, I woke up to this person, went to sleep with this person, saw this person all day, didn't have my phone to distract me. So it's like,
yes,
these things add up. So it's time for the second game, Dalgona. When you walk in there, what are you thinking when you walk in that white room?
When I walked in the white room, I wasn't expecting. I don't know if I was expecting it to be just like, oh, you get in, you form your lines. Like I knew what game it was. Like most of us knew that. Oh, it's about to be Dalgona. We're about to do the cookies, but I was just like, are we getting in the lines to, like, each person is going to like pick, just pick a little canteen thing. I really didn't know how it was going to be. I didn't know we were getting in the lines of the shape that we were going to be in. When they were like form lines, I'm just like, okay, but I didn't think, it was going to be like that. And then once they started pulling people from the front of the row, and it's like, okay, you got to go in here and pick your shape. Even then, I still didn't think whatever shape they picked was ours, because it was on a door. So I felt like the shape they picked, once they opened the door, that wasn't even going to be our shape. So it was like, don't just pick something random, because it's not even going to be our shape. When they open that door, it's going to be a whole different shape. That's what I thought going in there, but that's not what it turned out.
It's completely different. Trust me, I was surprised too. Different.
And part of me, I'm a person that goes by, everything happens for a reason. So I was walking in and Rick was by me. Dr. Rick was by me. And he was like, I'm going to choose one. It was something about one. And looking back now, I'm like, shoot, he picked and saved them in warships. Dang, I should have went one, and I would have had the circle, and I would have still been there. But I went to 3, and I went to 3 because I call my 3 kids my 3-piece. So, if I have to think of a number, that's usually the first number that comes to my mind is the number 3. So I said, I'm going to go to 3.
Hey, you had to go with your gut in that instance, 4 is my high school football number, and it was a number that I always liked, and that's the one I picked. I mean, it ultimately didn't matter what line number you picked. That was not the scenario. It was up to the people in the front to kind of make that decision.
Right.
So people say like, oh, I picked this because I didn't pick 4 because it's unlucky number in Korean. I'm like, well, that wasn't how it was. Premise behind it works.
That wasn't the process.
I hear that, and it's like, that doesn't really mean anything to me, personally. But hey, so what eventually happens is your line ends up getting star. Mm-hmm. So when you get star, how are you feeling about when the move is made and you know what shape you're getting? Are you feeling confident? Are you feeling uncomfortable? And what are you feeling right now?
I mean, in the show, they got me like this, like I'm just stunned, which I was really nervous. I'm just like, oh my God, like all of this drama just happened, over the shapes. And it's just like, well, how is the shape going to be? Like, how hard is it? I have the star. I was happy I didn't have the umbrella, but I was still nervous to have the star, because now I have all these little edges. So I was nervous. I was nervous. I was nervous about having that star. But I'm a star. So, at the end of the day, I was just like, I'm a star. So let's go. I'll take it. Everything happened for a reason. Either I'm going to get it or not. So let's go.
All right, she was ready to go. She had her game face on, and she's ready to get put in the game, take care of business. Okay.
Right.
All right. So we get in there. You get just little, and I know that they gave you guys tins to do to get some shots and whatnot. But you open your tin, and the timers, they're ready, set, go. What's your strategy on getting the star completed?
Well, a few people, were saying it before we even started. They was like, hey, spit in the tin or lick the cookie, lick the cookie. And initially that's what I started to do, but I didn't want it to be too much or a lot, because I was just like, ew. But my goal was to make sure that I, got the cookie out or whatever. So I spit in the tin a little bit. I licked on the cookie, and then I noticed people holding up the cookie to the light. And I was just like, oh, why didn't I do that? So I know where to go. So I did it once and I'm thinking, okay, I got it. So I'm carving my cookie out, I'm getting it. And I was on the fourth leg of my thing, of the star. And I just heavy-handedly moved a little too much to the left. And it was like the tip of it. And the guard was already standing over me. And I looked up and I was like, I'm eliminated. Like, I'm eliminated. I can't even wait till it melt and try to fuse back together. I was like, I'm eliminated. Man. I was just like, man, and it was a lot of emotions, but my initial emotion wasn't to cry. Although afterwards I wanted to, but initially it was just it was like well, you did it. You got this far. It was a sense of me being happy that I still made it that far and I got that experience. So like I wasn't mad initially. I was not upset. I was just like, man. But I was like, man, I can't believe I did that. I was almost there. I was almost there. So I was just like, oh, it is what it is. It happened.
Well, yeah, I mean, it happens. I mean, you had no control over which shape you had. Yeah, I mean, most people didn't, but you did, you had it, Yeah. I think one common thing is like everyone thinks, if you go back and do it a second time, I would have got it because you would have taken a deep breath and your hand, you would have calmed down a little bit because it was a lot of nerves that got people out. It wasn't really the shape cutting because it was possible to do that without messing up. It's just the timer going and then the atmosphere of it. It kind of, the nerves got to people and so their hands were getting fidgety and they rushed them too. So I think if you had, maybe breathe a little bit too, a little bit more and just calm yourself down, then you probably would have finished it, no problem. Because a lot of people say it wasn't super impossible.
Absolutely. I absolutely agree.
So sadly, player 354 has been evicted from the house. She is going home. Oh no, the whole show is over. Well, your time is up. But so after you get eliminated and you head back to the hotel, what's kind of the emotions going through? Like, are you sad? Are you like, excited to go home? Like, what's going on?
I mean, after it settled, really, I was just like, I was ready to eat. Like, I was like, where's the food? Like the real food. Like, I just wanted to eat and I wanted my phone, so it was like, okay, I'm going to get to eat. I'm going to get to get my phone. Even me wanting to get my phone in my head, I was like, oh, I still don't want to tell my family, I just want to, I don't want to say anything to my kids yet. But, got back to the hotel and I was actually supposed to have an interview, a MIV or whatever they wanted. So when I got back to the hotel, I didn't even get my phone. I didn't get my phone at all. I got my bag, but I didn't get my phone. And they were like, I was going to interview the next day. Well, probably maybe 4 a.m. they came and called and woke me up. It was like, oh, your flight leaves at I think it was like 6 or 7. And I was just like, I'm not doing the interview. I don't even have my phone. They was just like, well, bring your things, bring your tracksuit and all that down here, when you get your bags and stuff together, and then, we'll give you your phone. So, I mean, that was kind of sad because I wanted to do an interview. But, it is what it is. They had already booked my flight. So I was like, okay.
You're doing the interview now, you got to get your
I know. So it was cool. And once I got my phone, I still didn't say anything. I still didn't say anything. I touched down back in Texas. Of course, they had the black car to take me back home. And then once I got home, I knocked on the door and boom. And the first thing my oldest, he's 13 now. So the first thing my oldest said to me, he was like, so you didn't win the money? And I was like, no, I'm home. So that means I didn't win the money. Well, what happened? I was like, well, I can't tell you too much. We just have to wait for the show. But, I did tell them about my experience or whatever, and everything happened and all that good stuff. So It was crazy, but he was just like, win the money. And then when my daughter came home, she cried. I was like, oh, I actually have a video of her and everything, seeing me when she walked in her room and she was crying. I was like, oh, you're crying, don't do that, So I think I was gone for maybe a week and a half or something.
A little over a week, yeah, about a week and a half.
Yeah, so I'm just like, I'm grateful for the whole experience and being able to, even talk about, the little part in it that I may have. Well, it's little to some, but it's big to me, so it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. But
yeah, no, definitely. I think you should, go ahead.
Once I got to once I got done and on the bus, we got snacks, got to the hotel room, I was just like, it was just a, thank you, God, moment, because I made it as far as I did. Some people didn't. And then I got to be a part of history. I got to be a part of the whole experience. So that was big for me. I got to be on my first reality TV show. So it was big for me.
Oh, that's excellent. I think you should definitely give yourself kudos, and you made it further than most.
Yeah.
And or over half of the people on the show. I mean, that's it wasn't easy at all. And you were able to live to tell the whole entire tale. And everyone's experiences is different on the show. Some people, going through a little bit more if they had something going back home, or they just health, or food was getting really to them, or just being away from friends and family. I mean, I know somebody who completed red light, green light, and they went home because of their family,
Yeah.
And it's a lot. So I definitely think you should, hold your head high. I mean, you seem to be fine. So just, give yourself the claps, give yourself the claps you need. So was there anything that you saw that aired or the way the show was aired, how do you feel about how everything was put together? In a nice way.
I honestly feel like at least red light, green light was rushed. Only because I feel like there was a lot of moments that were missed, that could have been in there. Of course, me being on the ground in 5 seconds. The people that were behind me running and making it in those 5 seconds. The group of, I don't know how many, 15 people, they got out in like 38 seconds once they crossed over the line, so and the coffin, that was so funny, it was just funny to me that them coming with the little coffin, that was just funny. And I think that would have been look cool, look cherry,
yeah, 100%. I mean, I wanted to see it. I didn't get to see the coffin because my head, I was diving. I was one of the people diving every time. And my head was on the ground every single time. So I couldn't look up to see anybody passing out, any of the coffins. I missed all that. So I was excited to see it on TV. Yeah.
Even to have a I wouldn't want them to put anybody in there passing out, but maybe to hear, well, they probably can't do that. People saying medic, and us sitting back home trying to figure out what's going on while they're saying medic, but even like the different foods we ate, preparation for coming, to the show. The different types of food we ate every day, the porridge. I would have loved to see a shot of that. Like, we ate that every day. No, there was no sugar. No, there was no butter. It was just that. Okay. So that's why people acted the way they did when they saw fries and burgers. Okay. Because of what we were eating. I would have definitely loved to, I don't know. Everybody want to see a little bit of a lot more of themselves, but with so many people, but I definitely would have wanted to see a little more of the conversations between people. I wanted to see the magic show. I did want to see that, on TV, because that was pretty cool. That was pretty neat, to be around it, to be a part of it. But yeah, I just would have loved to see, a lot. I would have loved to see a lot more of red light, green light. I think because red light, green light is so iconic that there should have been a lot more of red light, green light more than anything. You know, there should have been a lot more of that. You know, you had people that were standing there like shaking, you know. They didn't get out because they knew, you know, oh, they're not moving, they're shaking because it's either cold or the position that they're in. You had people in crazy positions, like, why the hell would you stop like that? You know, like, why would you do that? Yeah, why would you do that? You know, then you're standing there for God knows how long, and you gotta stand in that position. Like, how would you do that? But again, the adrenaline was pumping. I would have liked to see more Dalgona. I didn't see meat in it at all, but I would have loved to see more of it. You know, because you had. There was one in the star, Michaela or Michelle. I don't know if I can't think of her number right now.
Yeah, I know you're talking about.
Her dying scene was so crazy. I was like, that right there is TV. Like, she did that. She acted perfectly. Once her pack blew up, it just exploded all over her. She just fell out. So it was like that. That was so funny to us. Like, it was pretty cool. But yeah, I would have liked to see, you know, a little more of that. I'm ready for the next set of episodes to see how everything's unfolds. I think that's what I'm more happy about now, is because it's like I wasn't a part of a lot of that. So everything that I wasn't a part of, I'm ready to see how it unfolds and what happens and how the games went, and how people alliances fall, you know? So yeah, I'm excited.
Don't brace yourself. It gets real. So yeah, it gets pretty real. But I think honestly, I mean, you know, I'll just keep it at that. No, this is spoiler averse podcast, so we don't keep it here. But it gets real.
Yeah.
Blur. But yeah, no, definitely. I think, you know, you did an amazing job. It was wonderful to briefly meet you in there. Yeah. I did my best to kind of go around and say hello to as many people as possible. So
you did.
So
you definitely did.
I don't know if you remember me very well.
I do.
But, yeah, my hair is short now. It's no more long.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was looking at. It's like, it's not long now. Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I had to get it off,
I remember. I remember.
But yeah, and so I definitely probably got to meet, I'd say, roughly 85% of the people in the dorms. So definitely was good for me to get around like that, because I was enough. If I didn't win, I needed to network a little bit.
Yeah,
you know, that was the plan.
You know what else was crazy to me? That they didn't include like the
girl?
the
chapstick.
Yeah. Yeah.
Missed moments now. That was a big moment. That was a big everything. Everybody was talking about the same thing.
It was a big moment, you know. It was a big moment. Even the volleyball game with the tracksuits.
That was crazy. That was crazy. I went to the bathroom and came out, and there was a big set. I was like, "Oh snap!"
Yeah.
I really did.
That was crazy. That was a crazy moment. Like, it's just like a group of people just coming together trying to figure out something to do, and this was the one thing that they figure out. So it was crazy. And I would love more pictures. You know, I would love to see like more pictures. I know we have photographers coming in there snapping pictures. I'm like, I know we have more pictures of us that we can like share and post and all that good stuff with groups, individuals, all that. So, but it was fun. You know, looking back, I'm like, it was fun. I'd do it again. I probably won't definitely pay me, but I'll do it again.
Hey, come on now. I gotta come with that check next time. Yeah. Send me a furniture from Restoration. Yeah, send me something.
Something, you know. Yeah. You know, I still check my mailbox now. Like, okay, it's the #1 show right now, so yeah, we're gonna get something in the box. Maybe a little package, promo package or something.
Hey, we never know. Maybe we do get something. Maybe we do.
Like something.
We'll see. We'll see.
I know. We'll see. Fingers
well, I really appreciate you coming. This was excellent. Get to talk to you, get your perspective on things and your story and your opinions on things, because that's what matters most. Is, you know, everyone has a different opinion of of their perspective on what happened. And
right.
I love hearing that. So I really, really do appreciate you coming on here and sharing. This was awesome. I loved it.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me. I'm excited.
Of course.
My first post Squid Game show interview podcast. So amazing.
Well, this will be on YouTube. I will post it.
Perfect.
And of course, send you the link, obviously. But for
and
the
I'll
people
share it.
Oh, appreciate it. I appreciate it. So for the people who want to know how to follow you and find you, where can they find you at on social media?
You can follow me on Instagram, Miss MISS Persia, PERSIAB as in boy, as well as Facebook is Miss Persia B, and then my TikTok is Miss Persia B. So yeah, follow me.
Y'all better follow now. Get that stuff that she's selling. I know I'm about to.
Yes, and shopinnervixen.com is where you could go to shop my amazing best smelling scent perfume ever. So yeah.
Hey, get it. It's hot.
Thank you.
Well, I appreciate it once again, and till next time, peace and blessings.
Bye.